God is with you. And if he gave you the vision, he's going to supply all your needs. I say it like this: put all your eggs in his basket. If he has given you the plan, there's no reason for you to have a plan B. So put all your eggs in his basket, trust God, believe his word. And yeah, just do it. Just do it.
I heard it on the radio. Tell me up beside the stereo. Wanna feel it all around. I love to hear the sound of blessings, peace, Lord,
all right, welcome in everybody to another episode of Q's Radio. Q's Radio is about dope music, great conversation, and elevation. If this is your first time chiming in or tuning into this channel, listening on the podcast, I'm just going to ask that you subscribe, hit on the notification button so that you can get all this content that God is bringing to me to bring to you, and you're going to love it. And like I said, Q's Radio is about dope music, great conversation, and elevation. I typically stop on that word elevation. And the reason being is because, what am I going to say? We want to move to a different plane, a different level, a different season in life where we can elevate. And just know wherever you are right now in your season, in your life, that, yeah, you're going to go to another level. You just got to be consistent in what you're doing right now. Be prayerful in what you're doing right now. Be patient. God knows we need patience because we see so many things afar off where we know we want to elevate, where we want to go to that next level. But God is just saying, hey, I still need you to be right here because I have some things for you to learn. And so be patient in that process. Don't grow weary in doing well because in due time, your season is going to come. But most importantly, we want to elevate. We want to go to a higher level because that's what God desires for us to do. And so today, that's what my guest is doing. My guest is coming to us all the way from Westchester, New York. Man, I was driving in the car with my wife and I heard the song pop on. I said, hey, you gotta hear this track. And I played it on repeat. And we're gonna hear that track today. And I'll tell you what it is when I get to it. But I'm talking about none other than Kadidia, affectionately known as KD. KD, welcome to Q's Radio. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? I'm good. Thank you for having me. This is about to be dope.
I appreciate you accepting the invitation, coming on here with me to chop it up. And like I told you, driving in the car, Fight for Me came on, the algorithm. And I'm like, ooh, who is this young lady? Who is this? I'm like, blooming, these two EPs.
Yeah.
I had to hear more. And, here you are right now, excited to have you on. So as we were chopping it up before we got on, you told me that you just recently moved back to New York. You were attending school down in Tampa, USF. Yeah. What were you studying there?
My major when I was in Florida was behavioral health care. So I've always had the desire to help people in regards to their mental health and, help them to be a better version of themselves, help them to do the work that was needed to reach the goals that they had. So that's why I did behavioral health care. And then I moved to New York and attended Stony Brook to get my master's in social work.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. She said, that's what she did. She elevated. She started out where she was at UCF, went to Stony Brook, and now she has that master's degree. And so, no, I mean, it's this day and age, I see that it's highlighted more that we're talking about mental health, understanding the importance of mental health. I mean, that's something that we cannot, say enough and talk enough about because we are all plagued by something in life. Yeah. We are just one traumatic event away from potentially being in a place where we are breaking down. We are in a deep depression or whatever it is. And so just to have individuals who have that heart for wanting to help people kind of get out of that rut, that place where they are to now see a brighter future, better days. I applaud that. I really applaud that. So I mean, with you doing that, and I guess I kind of expected to hear a major something about music, something in regard to that. But I mean, I know several times that we're most multifaceted as individuals. And so that's not just one aspect of who KD is. You are also someone that does enjoy music, though.
Yeah.
And so tell me about that journey, though, because I mean, I know I heard you. Where did it start for you?
So I've been singing all my life. So born and raised in church, come from a musical family. So literally have been singing since I can speak. And at the time, my dad was like the youth pastor So he would always like put me on top of a chair and have me, sing to the congregation. So
Yeah.
I've been singing for years. But I didn't really start taking it serious until about like 2017. Usually like my brother was really the one that was pursuing music, like wholeheartedly. And I was like, his background singer, hyping him up. I would listen to his music and let him know what needed to be tweaked.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he passed away in
Mm,
2015.
mm-hmm.
So after he passed away, it just happened to be something that I started doing. A friend of mine at the time surprised me with a studio session
Oh,
um,
wow.
to, record one of his songs. And I was like, oh, this is just going to go on SoundCloud, not really taking it serious. And
Mm-hmm.
the producer that I was working with was like, yeah, absolutely not. Like, this is not just going to be a one and done. So we worked on an entire project. I think it was 5 songs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's actually out right now called Epiphany.
Oh,
I
yeah.
as well.
Oh, I got it.
So, yeah, that was my first
I
project,
got it.
and honestly, like, I've just been making faith moves since then. Still, like, I'm still figuring it out, but I don't believe that you need to have all the answers to make the moves. I think if that was
Mm,
there wouldn't be no need for faith, right?
mm-hmm.
And I've just been trusting God. I literally prayed and told God, I said, "Listen, if this is something you want me to do, you have to open the doors." And he's been opening them, he's been providing. And I've just been walking every step, holding his hand and going as far as he leads me.
I mean, that's a beautiful story, beautiful journey, and just to see that you're continuing your brother's legacy.
Yeah.
Where that mantle has been handed off to you, and definitely, I know he's proud of you. Would be very proud of what you're doing, and you're just taking it. You said God opened those doors. And
Mhm.
God has been opening those doors for you, busting them down, breaking them, whatever, whatever needed to be done. Because you're right. If we could see the whole picture from the beginning,
Mhm.
it's kind of like cheating in a sense, right?
Yeah.
But how can we ever grow? Because during those times when we step out in faith, there are going to be growing pains. But
Yeah.
the thing about it, listen to what that phrase is: growing pains, meaning you are elevating, you are growing. It may hurt to change. It may hurt to make these moves to unfamiliar place, but we have to be comfortable with becoming uncomfortable. That's
Mhm.
really what we have to do. And so I love that. And I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to kick it to a song that you just released a live video for. People, we're about to go into worship mode and just real cool mode. We're about to hear a track from Kadidia called Adonai. So right now, I'm about to kick it to that track. I think it's very, very fitting for us to kick into this now as we journey through this conversation today. Right now, we're going to hear Kadidia Adonai.
You're the answer to every question I hold. You're the giver to the young and the old. You're the picture of a love that will last. You're the constant in every season I have. Oh, my soul, here is your majesty. Oh, my soul, here is your majesty. God, I'm ready to be led. Your spirit won't fail. I will follow you ahead. Be the wind to myself. If I fall, I'm not alone. In my weakness, I'm saved. Adonai, my Lord, my hope. The name above all names. You're the promise. Oh, you'll never let go. You're the father of every untended soul. You're the keeper. Yes, my faith is alive. You're the shining when the dark tries to hide. Oh, oh, my soul, here is your majesty. Oh, If I fall apart, no, I'm not alone. Yeah. Adonai, my Lord, my hope, the name above all names. Jesus Adonai, the truth and the light, always be praised. Jesus Adonai, you be lifted high, always be praised. Jesus Adonai, that you favor always, Jesus, you are the King, always be praised. Oh, Jesus Adonai, the truth and the light, always be praised. Jesus Adonai, you be lifted high, always be praised. God, I'm ready to be blessed. I'ma follow you. I'ma follow you. No, I'm not alone. The name above all names.
Yes, yes. Jesus Adonai, you be lifted high, always be praised. And I know you like to sing. I know you like to sing. I've seen some of your videos where you just bust out
Yeah.
and you'll start singing. I mean, because it's just a part of you, it's in you, and you have such a beautiful voice. I mean, honestly, it's a very beautiful voice. And I mean, I know that's one of your favorite songs.
Mhm.
I know that. And right now, what you told me just before, we got on, you took a big faith step.
Yeah.
And just that song alone is kind of,
Mhm.
that, okay, I know you're going to protect me. I know that you're going to be the Lord of everything that I do. So tell me about just that track alone. What were your thoughts when you first either wrote it or heard it, or what was going through your mind?
Yeah, so, a friend of mine, came to me one day, he was like, "Yo, I have a song for you." And I think he came to me in, like, maybe 2019, like, which was definitely, like, a couple years before I even,
Hmm.
like, tracked it. Um, and when I just heard it instantly, like, it really just captured just where I was. Because I think kinda what I was saying, like, everything that I'm doing is, like, a faith move. And
Mm,
it's also acknowledging just like who God is and the fact that I cannot take any steps without him. Like everything that I do is by his power. Like this is his platform. So just by saying like God, I'm ready to be led is literally
mm.
just says it for itself. Like God, I'm here. I'm not even gonna try to control. And I know sometimes that's hard for us
Yes, it
because
is.
we want to know all the pieces. We want to know what's happening at the end. And I think once we really just understand the character and the fullness of who God is, and that He is intentional with the decisions that He makes in our lives, and that
Mm,
if we just trust Him, He will not fail. He cannot fail. It's not a part of the type of person that He is. It's not the God that He is. So I think just that song just helped me just to lift my faith even more. Um, and just really just acknowledge the trueness and the fullness of who God is, and it just revealed himself to me even more.
yeah, no, I can I can see that song definitely being an anthem
Yeah.
that I'm going to hear for a while to come. I mean, it just the lyrical content,
Mhm.
um, the musicality of everything from background vocals to the instrumentation. I mean, it's a beautiful track. And so tell me about the people that were actually a part of the live video. I mean, because it starts off with such a great guitar solo. So who is that's on guitar?
So everybody on the track is like family to me. So I have Marcos who is on guitar. I have David Moxie, who is on bass, who is also the music producer
Mhm.
um, of the song,
Okay.
as well as the MD.
Nice.
We have Adele Jackson, who is on piano. The background singers are Colin Jackson, Diana, and Michael Perry. And on drums, who actually programmed and arranged that live arrangement is Charles Norris. So,
Man,
yeah.
man, I talk a lot about just having a team of creatives.
Yes.
Just like with this podcast alone, I have a team of creatives that help me out,
Mhm.
and I always shout them out. From my graphic designer,
Yeah.
Mona J, and
Mhm.
my audio video guy. We're talking about Nathan. It's just a team that helps these ideas that we have come
Mhm.
to life. Nobody can ever do it by themselves,
Yeah, at
or never
all.
can do it by themselves. So, just having multiple minds of creativity kind of coming together and just seeing a project that
Yeah,
we're able to put out, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And man,
yeah.
I'm loving what you're doing. So with you, and just the music that you do,
Mhm.
your outlook on it. You said that you grew up, your dad was a youth pastor, and
Mhm.
he would put you up and you would start singing with that. And this is a refrain that happens a lot on the shows. I talk about a generation that we're in, and
Mhm.
how culture also influences what we do creatively,
Mhm.
right? And so for you, growing up in New York, we know it's a melting pot of people from all different countries, and everybody is bringing their own style, their own whatever to the party.
Mhm.
So for you, how do you think your where you've grown up has kind of shaped your outlook on sound, your outlook on music, just what you put out there?
I think it had a huge part of kinda what you said, like, it's such a melting pot and it's so many different sounds, and different genres, and there was just so much to, like, take in that definitely influenced, like, the sound that I have because, that's why, like, when you listen to the musics that I have,
Mhm.
it's a variety of different sounds,
Yes,
like,
it is. It
just
is.
one. And I use that to my advantage of not just trying to fit myself into a box that I thought was, well liked, but trying to do it all. Like I try not to limit myself and try to make it seem like I just have to do this one thing. And I also, when I was younger, like I would come home and listen to all different types of genres. So whether I'm listening to old school R&B, whether I was listening to the current pop, whether I was listening to country music, whether I was listening to like, Paramore and listening to rock, like
Oh, did you just say Paramore? Man, Paramore has come up a couple different times on this podcast, and there's a reason
yes.
for that because Haley,
Mhm. Yo, top 5.
y'all don't sleep on
Not
Haley. A lot of people sometimes may not even want to go to a different genre, but man, her
mhm.
voice is Haley is, oh man, yeah.
Yes.
Those who know. I'll
Yeah,
just say
and
that.
exactly. So, I definitely took advantage of listening to all these different voices and singing their songs and seeing how can I adapt my vocals or the way I sing to be able to sing those different genres, which I think definitely now I see how, like, just how it's been, like, really clutch, for lack of better words,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
now I'm able to do, like, all the different type of songs that I do,
Yes,
and
you
it
are.
not sound weird,
Yes, you
or like
are.
I'm forcing myself, like, it doesn't sound like
Yeah.
it's just like, "Yo, I've been singing all these type of songs for so
Yeah. Is
that."
not where people will look at you and say, "What is KD doing? Like, what is
Yeah,
she doing?" No, it's like, "Okay, wow, I didn't man, she can, really move with
yeah,
ease to
yeah,
whatever."
yeah.
Oh,
I'm really grateful for, like, being able to do that. Like, I trust me, I don't take it for granted because not everyone has that ability, so it's just like, "Yo, Imma sing all the songs, and it's gonna be great."
yeah, no, so I've seen, like, just checking out some of your YouTube videos that you've done and some of the
Mhm.
covers that you've done with the different people, and, they've all been spot on. I guess, has anybody ever told you you sound like someone, or have you just have your own unique sound? So, because I have somebody in mind, but
Now I wanna know
I'm
who
not
you're
gonna
gonna say.
nah, no. I wanna hear if,
I kinda wanna hear
have
you
you
first.
oh, okay, okay, okay. Um, you wanna sing something for us right quick?
Doing something right now? Ooh.
No, I'm messing with you. I mean, if you
I
want
should have
to,
thought of something.
and I know you have Sweeter, you have a song called Sweeter.
Oh, yeah, see, which has, like, a little country kinda twang to it.
Mhm, mhm.
Um,
I'm not gonna put you on the spot like that. You don't have to. You don't
uh,
have to, but
only because I
I'm
was like,
gonna
"What is the words?" Even though that I literally wrote that song, and I'm like, "What's the
no,
word?"
trust me, when somebody puts you on the spot like that, sometimes it's kinda like, "Oh, man, I was not expecting that," but
No, but I'm supposed to be ready at all times, and I
oh,
just
okay.
totally
You
forgot
said
to do so.
it's all good. It's all good, but I was going to say, one of the songs that I was listening to, you had somewhat of a Jasmine Sullivan
Mhm.
sound that I heard Jasmine Sullivan a little bit in there.
Well, I'm gonna take that as a compliment
That
because
is because Jazz's
that's
voice
the
is
GOAT.
beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, that's who I got. But who have you heard people say you sound like?
So, I am a Brandy Norwood fanatic. So, when
Okay.
I
Shout
was
out to
younger
Brandy.
yes, when I was younger, I was listening to her the most.
Sitting
So
up
I
in my room.
yeah, like, I definitely adapted some of, like, her choices, so I get that a lot out of
Oh,
anybody
man.
that's familiar.
Yeah.
And then with the break,
Yeah.
it kinda just
Yeah, there you go. Now with the braids now, yeah, yeah. So you got the Brandy going on. So no, that's dope. That's dope because Brandy is she's a part of just music history,
Yep,
just starting out at the age that she started out at and just still continuing to put out, music. Her voice has just always been just so beautiful. It
yep,
really is.
yep.
And right now we're going to see that you do have an opportunity to kind of move around with what you do. And
Mhm.
right now we're going to check out a track that she got a chance to drop on her first not first ep but second ep but the first segment of Bloom. It's called From the Bloom MP. We're going to listen to Change, and I think you guys are going to find this video to be a very fun video. I loved it. I know she enjoyed making it. So right now we're going to hear Kadidia, Change.
I've been afraid to let my head down and show my face. Letting my wings grow, what does it mean though if they're stuck in a cage? Stuck in my ways, letting expectations determine my grade. I've been this way for way too long now. I'm ready to change. I'm ready for change, change, oh, for change. I'm ready for change, change. Worry about what gets in my way, change. I'm scared of change. Hold on to these memories my heart tends to frame. Going through the motions, how I'm supposed to grow if I'm stuck at space. Used to my ways, letting my emotions cripple my faith. Oh, I've been this way for way too long now. I'm ready to change. I'm ready for change, change. Whoa, oh, I'm ready for change. Worry about what gets in my way. Change. I'm ready for change, change. Don't know when, but whether.
Yes, yes. Another one by Kadidia, Change, right there. You guys look like you had a lot of fun in that video.
It was
Man, I see. And you got the drop
tiring.
top Porsche. What? What's up with the drop top Porsche?
Listen, Imma go all out.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Go all out. Is a
Yeah.
line in the first verse, letting my wings grow, but what's the point if I'm stuck in a cage?
Mhm.
Man, that that stuck with me because yeah, what's the point? Birds are really not designed to be stuck in a cage. They have those wings so that they can fly, be free, and to explore and do what they were designed to do.
Mhm.
And so with us, what's the point of getting comfortable, so to speak, with just some of the things that we grow in during a season if we just would remain in that season and never go anywhere else?
Yep.
So talk to me about that song Change.
Yeah, I think, you kinda covered it all. I was I was in Florida at the time, and I hit up one of my favorite friends, Eli,
Hmm.
and I was just like, "I need to write a song because I feel stuck." Literally felt like there was more, and I was just like, "I feel like I'm not accessing, like, all that God has for me." I feel like, um I'm living in fear. I feel like I'm just afraid. And I'm just like, no, like I need to step out. I need to do more with the time that I have here on earth. So he was like, let's do it. Let's write the song. So literally just went over to his house and we just started like rambling and we just started. He was just like, yo, you're ready for a change. And I'm just like, yes.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
I think, I knew that there was something inside of me that needed to be, released. And I was just, stuck in my thoughts, stuck with my fears and stuck in my anxiety and wasn't allowing, God to really use me because I was comparing myself to other people or, saying that I'm not good enough to be used. And I just, stepped out on the faith, kind of what I keep saying, and did what I had to do.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm glad that you did do what you had to do. I'm glad that, Eli had that song for you
Yes.
to put out, man. And just like I said, you guys had a lot of fun. Where'd you guys record that video?
We did it at Randall's Island Park.
Mhm, okay.
It's like is that Queens? I think it's Queens. And I just, I literally had the vision and I was just like, yo, I want to just do it like a picnic vibe with all my friends and let's just do it. Like don't think too hard.
And me
Everybody be yourself.
and
And
me being greedy, I saw those burgers he was flipping, and I'm like, man, I wish I was at that because I could definitely go for
yeah,
one of those burgers. That's just the
so
greedy
it
part of
was
me.
good.
I know it was. I know it was. And
Yeah.
just playing around like that, and just the creative process. And so, what would you say? What is your creative process? Like, you're getting. Are you usually eh, when it comes to writing songs? How does it start for you? Is it that you hear a beat first, or is it that you're writing lyrics out and then you go get the beat? What is your process?
So I will get an idea, usually just inspired by something random or something in my life, for real. And I'll hop in my car because literally all the songs that I write, I'm driving. So I'll hop in my car and I'll just drive, and literally the lyrics and the melody will come to me at the same time.
Mm,
And then I'll hit up one of my producer friends, which I have like a few, whether it's David Moxie, whether it's Gary Coach, Adele Jackson, Josiah Basie, or Eli Groves, like a bunch of people I just hit up and say, here's a song, whoever I think will like execute the vision that or what I hear in my brain. And I tell them what I want and the direction that I'm trying to go. And they put it all together based
mhm.
on the song. So yeah.
Yeah, and that creative process. I always like just hearing different people just talk about their creative process, how it
Mhm.
happens. It's always different from one person to the next. And I think for me, just some of my creative process happens kind of like similar to yours, where
Mhm.
just life itself. Someone could just say something at work or wherever it is, and it will plant something into my head. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my goodness, God speaks to me and says something. I
Yep.
remember God challenged me one year. I used to use my Facebook status every year to, it was a theme.
Mm,
And one year, the theme God gave me was New Year, New Day.
mm,
New Year, New Day. Because a lot of times when we, kick off the new year and, people are so excited about it because it's new. Gotta go out with the old, in with the new.
mhm.
And we're so excited about some of the things that we were planning the previous year, how we're ready to hit the ground running. But as the year goes on, life happens, life gets on us.
Yeah.
And so now it kind of stops traction for some people, and they throw in the towel, they give it up, and they just leave it by the wayside. So God was saying, each new day that I give you is an
Absolutely.
opportunity for you to continue going on with what I have put on your heart to do.
Mhm.
And so the whole theme was like, don't wait for the new year. No, this new day that you got an opportunity to wake up, that breath in your body to move, go after it. And
Yeah.
so every day, 365 days of that year, God gave me an exact status to post.
Mhm. Wow.
Like it never failed.
Wow.
And it could be where it was 11 o'clock at night, and God was like, "Oh, no, you're gonna get this in." And
Mm.
I'd be up there, and I'd post what God had.
Wow.
And so it's just one of those things where we know all of the creativity that we have comes to us from the Creator. It's
Yeah.
just gonna be a matter of how we decide to use it,
Mhm.
because it can be perverted and used in a very perverse way,
Yeah.
where it's not something that is glorifying God, but it glorifies ourselves, glorifies anything other than the creator. And so, I mean, I enjoy hearing that.
Yeah.
And I got one more track from you. I'm excited about it because this was my introduction to you.
Yes.
That Apple Music algorithm somehow grouped you with I forget who, but I'm so glad that this song came up,
Yeah.
and I had it on repeat several times. And we're going to talk about it on the backside of this video of exactly what you had in mind when you penned this track and also did the video. And so right now we're about to get an opportunity to hear Kadidia Fight for Me.
I can feel the love fade away. We have changed, we're afraid to say what you want that I don't have. You said I was the best you had. So why won't you fight for me? I tried to make it so easy. I thought I gave you all you need. Baby, you still outgrew me. I tried to fit in your desires, silence my voice so you'll feel loud. Gave you my heart, but it wasn't enough. Now I feel broken and hard to love. So why won't you fight for me? I tried to make it so easy. I thought I gave you all you need. Baby, you still outgrew me. So why won't you fight for me? I tried to make it so easy. I thought I gave you all you need. But baby, you still outgrew me. Yeah, baby, you still honest, if I'm honest, when you walked away, took a part of me. Heartless, now I'm heartless. Broken promises got me questioning. Why won't you fight for me? I thought I made it so easy. I thought I gave you all you need. But baby, you still outgrew me.
Now y'all see why I got her on this podcast, right? That was the song that I first heard, Fight for Me. I was gonna sing, I was just about to do it. If you saw I was just about, but I was like, man, no, I'm not gonna do that.
You
I'll do it
should.
after I get off camera.
You should.
Man, I love that song. It was on repeat,
Yeah.
and
Aw,
I can hear Brandy in that. I can hear
yeah.
it. I can hear Brandy in that. And so now I get it. I get why you said yes. She is, a big inspiration for you, and just the voice itself, the vocals that you put together. So talk to me about "Fight for Me." I'm sure a lot of people just can relate to that video. So talk to me a bit about that.
Yeah, so this is actually based on like a real story, like a real situation for me, which as I said, that's usually how it goes. And I wrote this song in my car again, was driving to a friend's house who recently messaged me to say that she's outgrown me and the friendship. And that was my best friend at the time. So we were always spending a lot of time together. And it just got weird after some time. And I guess we struggled to communicate and have like a real conversation, which led to just the separation. So on my way to her house to kind of give her back her stuff, it was like a breakup. It was really crazy. And I wrote the song because it was really heartbreaking, I think, because I think I often feel like either the second choice or not the choice at all. And just wishing that people would fight for me and
Mm,
the way that I go above and beyond for the people that I love and the way that I choose them. And it seems like it's so easy for people to kind of just like let me go. And with no thought and no question to it. So I really wrote that song in like a really, really dark place, really sad and kind of just like confused, which made me question my worth as a person. And if you hear like the total of the whole project, it all works in like a storyline
mhm.
where in my, like, relational aspect, like, felt like that part was failing,
Yes.
and then, going to Take Me Back, where I'm kinda talking about, like, if I could go back, I probably wouldn't even have had that first conversation if I knew how it was gonna end up, but also realizing
Mm,
that God is sovereign in everything that he does, so he
yeah.
places people in our lives, and even though it's for a season, there was a specific purpose, for her being in my life or for anybody else who was in my life. Even the fact of me losing my brother, which was the most tragic thing that ever happened to me, but understanding that I probably wouldn't even be having this conversation with you if something like
Mm,
that didn't take place. I wouldn't have created everything that God intended for me to be, to give him the glory, and to just do everything that aligned with the purpose of my life. So even though like, God is intentional and he's in the middle of the heartbreak. He's not just at the end waiting for you to make it out.
mhm.
That was, Fight for Me, which is, a personal fave. I know it's a lot of people's faves because they can relate to that storyline. So
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, I mean, you're totally right, and just, that fight for me, especially for people that give their all,
mhm,
give their all, they want, obviously, for someone to do that in return,
yeah,
and we have to understand that, that's not going to be everybody. Not
yeah,
everybody operates the same way, but being able to look back to see God, well, you do fight for me,
mhm,
all the time, and you're
yeah,
not going to ever, leave, nor you're not going to forsake me.
yeah,
You want me to bask in your love, and
mhm,
I'm the one that usually walks away from you,
yeah,
and I'm not the one fighting to remain with you. I'm the one that's fighting to get away because I want my way.
yeah.
And man, that track, I love it. It's on repeat. Fight for me. Yep,
And I
yep,
think
yep,
what's
yep, yep,
also
yep.
beautiful about that song is sometimes, like, I've heard perspectives where people are kind of, uh, singing it to themselves, like, asking themselves, like, "Yo, why won't you?" Um,
Love it, love
that's
it,
my that's my favorite part about, like,
love it.
when you write that's a beautiful thing about music, like, everybody interprets it in their own way, where I probably wasn't thinking about it like that, but someone hears it, and I'm like, "Yo, that's true, like, why don't we fight for ourselves the way that we fight for other people, or for the way that God sees us and fights for us all the
Mhm,
time?
mhm.
Why would we continue to walk a way that isn't, just worth fighting for, right? Like we do things, fight for yourself in the same way that you fight for other people. Fight for your way, the way that God sees you and loves you and is always fighting for you. So I love that perspective too. I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah, and guys that are looking at this and even listening to the podcast, all of this information in regard to songs that you heard today is down in the description. You got a chance to hear tracks from the Bloom EP and the Blooming EP. So I want you all to go get that. Please get it, buy it, stream it, share it, do what you can because definitely, Kadidia, tell us how can people get in contact with you?
So honestly, all right. So my name is Kadidia, Kadidia. If you type that anywhere, it's gonna pop up because no one really has my name. So that's the beauty of my mom naming me Kadidia is that it's very easy to find. So if you type it in YouTube, Spotify, uh, Apple Music, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want to find me, that is the way. If you want to shoot me an email, bookingkadidia@gmail.com. But anywhere else, just type in my name and you could find me that way.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That information too is going to be at the bottom, so that you guys can
Yes.
check her out. No, I've definitely had fun having you on today. And before we leave, I love just more of a lighthearted part of the show. Um, so what I would like for you to do, it's going to be a two-part question. First part is going to have you pick a location, a destination, and so tell me. It could be a destination that you've been before that you really enjoyed being at, or it could be a destination where you have always wanted to go, but you have never had the chance to go.
Ooh, wow. I thought this was gonna be easier than I thought. I wow. I mean, all right. So I love the Caribbean. So my parents are Jamaican. Therefore, I love to go to Jamaica because it just there's something about it that just always feels like home. So anywhere where I feel safe and feel like I'm at home, that's just always where I would like to be. And if I had to go somewhere, like I want to go to like I've never been to like London or Paris or like anywhere like over there, like Europe and stuff like that. So I would love to go over there whenever the chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you live in New York, so they have direct flights from
Right.
JFK and LaGuardia. They have direct flights to some of those cities over there in
Yes.
Europe that you can definitely visit. So, okay, so you mentioned Jamaica,
Mhm.
homeland for your parents, and you mentioned also that you want to do a European tour. So, you know what? I will have you do a trip to Jamaica first, and then I'm going to have you do a European tour. But my question to you is this. On these trips, I love music. I always create a playlist. So my question to you, Kadidia, who and what are we going to hear on Kadidia's playlist?
Ooh, well, you definitely gonna hear Brandy. Like I said, that's like a major plus. I currently right now have like also a slight obsession with Doe Jones. So Doe is like, definitely also the reason why I'm able to do music that talk about just life in general, but don't take God out of it because he's also part of that. So she's a huge inspiration to me as well. Um, of course, Maverick City, Naomi Rain has to, that's a must. Um, who else? Oh man. Of course, Whitney Houston, because that's a must. You can't have Brandy without Whitney. So I would have to have her. Um, I have a lot of friends who also do music. So I kind of mentioned Eli Groves, like, or Elijah Day is now his stage name. So it'd have to be Eli, Diana, Marie, Michelle Marie. Those are all my friends who do music. So they'll also be a part of my playlist as well. Brandon Lee, Colin Jackson, literally all my friends. If you just want to know who my friends are, they will be on the playlist.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I love just hearing people talk about their playlists because you just get a chance to hear what the content creators are listening to. We know that you put out music, but who's on your playlist? And do you know who's on my playlist?
I, I don't know. Who's
You are on my
Oh,
playlist. So
wow.
you are on my playlist. So yes, you are on my playlist.
Let me
That's who's on my playlist. So I just have enjoyed just this conversation. It's been really fun.
yes.
I just pray obviously that you continue to just put out more content as God leads you to do it. And just briefly, like what you said, Doe has been a big inspiration for you. I got an opportunity to chop it up with her last year, and just we know God is still a part of it.
Yeah.
God is always in it. God is not taken out of it.
Mhm.
So I do appreciate you saying that. And so before we get out of here, I always like for my guests to leave the listening audience, the viewing audience with something uplifting, something elevating. So what is it that you can leave with the listening audience that would help them elevate their mindset?
Um, Something I always say to my friends or people that I try to inspire people with what I'm doing is just do it. Um, God is with you. And if He gave you the vision, He's going to supply all your needs. I say it like this: put all your eggs in His basket. If he has given you the plan, there's no reason for you to have a plan B. So put all your eggs in his basket, trust God, believe his word. And yeah, just do it. Just do it.
That's what's up. You heard it. She said, just do it. Put all the eggs that you have in God's basket, not your own. They're prone to, they will crack. Not they, they will crack, but them in God's basket, they're going to remain intact, and you're going to be able to do exactly what God has positioned you to do.
Yeah.
So again, for those people who are tuning in to the Q's Radio for the very first time, if you're on the YouTube looking at this, be sure to like, subscribe, share this, put on those notifications. If you're listening to the podcast, driving into work, wherever you're listening to it, do the same thing, and leave a review. Leave a review. Let me know what you think of it. Also, just let me know. I would love in the comments for you guys to tell me any people that you want to see appear on Q's Radio, any people that you want to hear the conversation with. I greatly appreciated it. And so with that, I'm going to say thank you again to Kadidia for joining me. KD, again, you guys can check her stuff out. It's on all your digital platforms. Like she said, you can find it, Kadidia. You're going to be able to find it for sure. She has 2 recent EPs, Bloom and Blooming, so make sure you cop those. You're going to be glad that you've added those to your list, just like I am. And so with that, I'm saying, always say, God is blessing. Be sure that you step out there and receive exactly what God has specifically for you. And with that, I'm going to say, you guys have a great day.
Everywhere I look, it see like there's a new distraction. No sitting back, we stepping, time for action. Breaking down the problems, she just look at that like fractions. But my holy music in your city while we passing. I can't hold these blessings, offering play that passion. Talking about my past life, and the things that I did was the old way to live, yeah. Let the love of that life. You ain't had to do it, but I'm glad that you did. I heard it on the radio. Tell me up beside the stereo.